One of the laws of TACHAHANUN on page 274. I want to actually begin with a comment. Last week we spoke about the idea of during Nefilas Apayim, and remember a person's face should be covered. And what about using clothing? And we saw that if the clothing, the Piskei Tshuva, no, it wasn't Piskei Tshuva, it was the maybe here. On 11, Nagin Chasod Panim Bebeged, V'lo Yidar Kisu Hayad Shenofel Panav Aleha.
I don't care how it happened.
Sorry, it is the Piskei Tshuva, who says in number 12 on 273, Ki Hefsek Al Yidei Begadav Eino Nikra Hefsek, that using your own clothes as a hefsek is not sufficient. So based on that last week, I was like, oh my goodness, like everyone does that. You never see a married guy maybe uses his own talus or Sephardi or a real German who's wearing a talus. Usually, what do we do? And again, this issue would come up in Mincha. So he says what?
Your talus is still your own baguette.
So then he goes on to say, Talit hitiru b'diavad. But everyone does that. So I pulled off the Isha Yisrael as I was leaving my house today, because of course I forgot about it until today. And he said, he doesn't even mention it, but this is like the Shomer Shvar Kihul Chata, but for davening. It's like the same author, same like format, same everything. So he said here, I just found it. Here. And when he says he specifically says with your shirt or with your suit jacket. He only says what is forbidden is you can't cover yourself with your hand. So if you wear short sleeves, what do you see people if they roll up their sleeves? What do they usually do? They roll them down.
Or if you have nothing, then like if you're wearing like a t-shirt or something.
So he says that's the problem.
Let's go high shoulder.
Here, he says lo biyadav, but he mentions in Chavchat. Here he goes. Fatam shlo yisem chaydav da hayad v'apanim guf echad ve'en haguf yachol chasod al atzmo, and the goof can't cover itself. So when the Piskei Tshuva says the goof can't cover itself, the Sfar of the Piskei Tshuva was, and your baguette is batel to your goof. Therefore, it's as if your goof is covering itself, and you felt that was a problem. The truth is, the Mishnah Berurah does not see it as a problem, and therefore, Mishtama, that's the reason why the Minhag HaOlam is to use one's own clothing to cover. So that was a little bit left over from last week. That was really threw me for a loop when I saw it last week. Like, whoa, we don't do this. I never heard of it before. That I've never seen anybody be makbid on taking another article of clothing to use.
That also doesn't make sense because, like, clothing obviously does cover you. Because think of like you can wear clothing to cover up air.
No, but what he's trying to say is that your clothing is batel to your hand, and therefore it's not considered like meaning. But erva is different than re'iyah. Here it's not as re'iyah, right? If there's erva and I cover it with clothing, of course it's covered. That's a physics thing, but here it might not be a physics thing. It might just be to cover. And since your clothing are batal to you, maybe it's not considered. I'll give you an example. The answer is by the way, in an eruv. You're wearing clothing. How could you walk outside with no eruv? The answer is your clothing are batal to you. You'll have to walk out in clothing.
Or you could say you're not going to walk outside without clothing on. It's ridiculous.
I mean, you could, whatever. Let's go on.
Not really. Physically you can, but you're not really.
But the idea is that the clothing is batal too, right? It's one and the same. So you're not saying you're carrying your clothing. No one says, "Oh my goodness, I'm going out with clothing. I'm carrying my clothing." You're wearing your clothing. It's a lavush. Lavush is batal too. Okay, but we don't hold that Piskei Tshuva, so we don't have to. I was really bothered by it at the time. I guess not bothered enough till I thought about it this morning. Okay, so.
Well, the last day was only Thursday.
Well, it's only Thursday. It really bothered me for a while after, and I forgot to look it up. Okay. So I want to continue now. We are on 15. So page 274, 15. No, we did it already.
17, no?
We're at 17, yeah. Is it sad no flim? Now this is going to be very, very interesting. Which side, when we do TACHAHANUN, which side do we go down on, right or left? So here we go. We're going to see something slightly shocking, so I'm going to warn you in advance. Shenofel al panav. When you do TACHAHANUN, nagu lahatot atzatzmo. left. Comes to the Ramah. It says, wait. V'yesh omrim diyesh latot outside yamin. So here we go. We see perhaps there's a machloka between Ashkenazim and Sfardim. The Sfardim say left. Ashkenazim say right. Now here we go. Says the Ramah. Vayikar lahatot b'shachri kshish lo tefillin b'smol outside yamin. Why we shouldn't cover tefillin? So the Ramah who says usually you do the right, or I should say, sorry. When a person is tefillin on, a person puts his tefillin on his left hand, then for sure you do it on the right. Meaning, because what is the... So again, it's funny because he said always do it on the right, and then he says, but even maybe those people who say the left do it on the right because of tefillin. Uba arvit. By the way, we see from here that you take tachanun at nighttime. Or kishe'ein lo tefillin, bismalo yatel tzmo. So we see the Ramah says your default position is left. When you're wearing tefillin, you switch to the right. And this is interesting. When you finish, what do we do after tachanun? We don't just say we're done. We do Shemer Yisrael. And we say that sitting, not bent over. Right? Not Nefilat Apayim. V'yitchanen ma'at miyushav. In every place according to minhag, because we know that there's a difference between Sephardim and Ashkenazim. Let's say this is more, or even Nusach Sfard, this is more prominent on Monday or Thursday. We Nusach Ashkenaz is to begin with Hu Rachum, whereas after the Yud Vidui, Nusach Sfard and Sfaradim go into Niflat Apayim. They do that because Yugam Midat are like the Shechina, and the Shechina is right. They bring the Shechina, and therefore they do Niflat Apayim right away because of the Shechina.
Do they do the Ruachim after?
And they do Ruachim after. Yeah. Okay, what's this rationale? Why is this whole left thing? So it says Mishabura, Efi shematzinu k'shadam mitpalel Shechina mimino. Since the Shechina is on the right, as it says, Hashem tzulcha yad yaminecha, v'nimzak shehu muta al small panav klape Shechina. When a person, right? So again, if you're doing the Niflat Apayim like this, which way are you facing? The Shechina is on your right, so you're facing the Shechina. V'im haya muta al yad yamino ya lehefech. So if the Shechina is on one's right and you're like this, it's like you're kind of say rejecting the Shechina. Looking away from the Shechina, that's not appropriate.
You're supposed to look away from the Shechina, though.
So I guess it's more than looking away. It's almost as if you're like lying away from it.
Turning your back.
Turning your back to it. Oh, thank you. That's right. Turning your back to it. Right. You shouldn't be turning your back. Thank you. You should turn your back to Shechina. It's not appropriate. Now, outside Yamin. So what about this idea that you're supposed to, for the Ramah who says you're right? Ki Shechina neged Adam. ונמצא שמאל השכינה כנגד ימינו. כשהוא מוטל ימינו, שכינה כנגדו יכוון שמאל תחת לראשי וימינו תבקמנה. So we see the truth is, there's rationale to say the opposite. And what's the rationale? The rationale is to say when you're like this, you're also kind of facing us. You're not really turning your back to it. I guess it depends on your angle of some sort. Anyways, the Ramah says, he lipol outside yamin, kishalov tefillin, bismolo. Mipnei kavod hatfilin, u'she'ein tefillin, lipol outside yamin. But hold on, we're not done yet. So we see here there is the general prevailing minhag. I think is to do that, right? Generally, our default is right.
Left.
That's right. Our default is left, and then with tefillin we switch to the right. Right? That's pretty sure. Well, the default is
tefillin more important than kavod?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I will tell you now. Rabbi Soloveitchik felt you always do your left, even with tefillin. Right? From the Gon did it that way too. I felt that even with tefillin, you still do left.
As a cover, you'd have to slide your shirt over also.
Is tefillin really a cover? I mean, it doesn't cover every. There's there should be gaps, right?
You have to.
We're
So
not covering our heads because of the Hashem. We're covering our heads because it's a.
So we saw that on Thursday. We saw We saw that is it because we want to demonstrate to God that we are being humble and submissive, or is it because the Shekhinah is present? Remember, if the rationale is since the Amida that we recited literally brought the Shekhinah, so if the Shekhinah is present, then we have to do Niflas Apayim. That's the rationale behind it.
So So why is I just don't get why it matters that you're
No, so therefore, because I think that's the idea, that if the Shekhinah is here, you shouldn't turn your back to Shekhinah. And which way is your back more to the Shekhinah? If the Shekhinah is on your right side, do it like this, it's almost as if you're like, turn your back to the Shekhinah.
Uncle Moishi completely, the Hashem is everywhere.
Yes, we don't pass like Uncle Moshe is not brand the Mishnah Berurah. Yes.
It's only an uncle, not
It's only an uncle, right? Anybody have an Uncle Moshe? Okay, so, but hang on, take a look at this. What I just said is 19. Well, kind of like 19. V'chein dat hataz magnav v'chein l'shem min hagzeh v'chein argola v'afilu l'gra desover da'ikar kemechaber de tamid asmal. Even the gra, which I mentioned, the Vilna Gaon said what? That the minhag is always to do left, even with tefillin. Now, this to me is a fascinating statement because this is much more than this is a halachic, hashkafic, communal question. Let's read on. Mikol makom imit palel bebet midrash. Meaning, it's now a local Ashkenazi shul, and everyone wearing tefillin at Shacharit is doing it on the right hand. It is asur to do it on the left hand. Why? You violate. Do not break away.
Does that apply for everything?
Wow. So this leads to something which bothers me a lot in shul. So again, we see from here that we see the Mishnah Berurah specifically by TACHAHANUN, right hand, left hand, says by not doing what the tzibur is doing, it violates lo tidgoredu. Therefore, if maybe is this a problem with lo tidgoredu? There are some people who think that Nusach Sfar never says Tachanun Mincha, so you never say Tachanun Mincha. So are you not saying Tachanun Mincha, does that violate lo tidgoredu? Or two, there are some people that daven in Ashkenazi shul Nusach Sfar, or Nusach whatever, Ari, or Nusach, and maybe, and therefore, again, on most days it doesn't really matter. But on a Monday or a Thursday, could be when they flip, when they do Niflat Apayim first, maybe that's a problem.
Why is it exclusive to Tachanun?
So Rabbi David used to, I remember this many, many years ago, Rabbi David felt that specifically with Tachanun, it's a public thing. Everyone sees what you're doing, or not doing. Meaning, if everyone is doing this and you're doing this, everyone sees it. But you mumble in tefillah, it's quiet. Are you saying Avad Olam, Avad Rabbah? I don't know, I can't hear. But when you are by Tachanun, since it's a formal, it's an action that he felt was a violation of what he's going to do.
What about Kedusha?
So, but again, I don't know what you're saying during Kedusha.
Well, I don't know.
It's machlok that some people say with the tzibur, some people say
louder than.
Right, so that could be a problem. To shout it out. Right. So some people who do that here don't even realize that it's different here. That those are the people that don't even realize it's different. They're so.
Like in Israel, you can say whatever you want. You can say you don't like.
So the question here is, what about in a shul like a shtibel where there's no real nesach? Then it's true. Then it's like kol alim gvar. Whoever's the louder voice wins.
People in Israel, like any shul I've ever been to, you can say whatever nusach for a kaddish if you're not allowed.
Right.
No one goes crazy like they would.
Okay, so Israel's different. Israel's much more of a chillin'.
That's why people will do it. They don't even
Right. Most people who do that in their shul here just don't even realize that not everyone says V'yasach B'Kaneh.
So
that's just
So they never listen to a single kaddish in this.
Whatever, they're not paying attention. That's usually who it is. Right? Okay. Well, they're not following along. The proof is not following along the text from a local sitter, right?
So if you're davening in a shul that's Musafari or something, they're not saying Tachanun by Mincha or something.
So what you should do is walk out. That's what I do. When I daven, let's say B'nai Torah, Mincha, they don't say Tachanun ever. So I walk out. They finish Chaz l'shat, and I go in the hallway. No one knows what I'm doing. Maybe I'm on my cell phone. Maybe I'm reading the posters. That's what I do.
I don't think we said
also
Tachanun. I don't think I said Tachanun for...
No, they're doing it
4 years.
For 4 years Rechaim. I also didn't have Mincha for 4 years Rechaim.
That's on the video. So
for the video, that's a joke.
But you should have said that at the dinner last night. I didn't go, but I was at a wedding. There's Orchaim dinner last night. I should have said I didn't have Mincha. I didn't daven. I'm just kidding.
What if you're at a place where they are saying Tachanun, but you're not saying Tachanun?
Why not? Why are you saying Tachanun?
I was at a shul and
There's a good example in this.
Very, very interesting.
There's a minion in this building that doesn't say anyone else with it.
Right.
Can you not say it? Because
why shouldn't you pretend you're saying it and then not say it? That's a good question. Why is Lotus good to do?
Well, isn't it a matter of like
Like, you think they're wrong.
If what?
Yeah, but it's the other way around. I don't want to be like, well, you know, it's about split, so I agree with you. I'll say tough.
So then,
I want to be
then
like,
the answer is don't daven there.
well, I was going to
Stand there, you wave your Israeli flag.
Yeah, I started dancing around.
So I know the truth is, what's here's interesting. It could be. By the way, Sheva Tasa is different. Maybe now because let's say it's a chassan. So if there are many shuls which hold that if you're getting married in the afternoon, the chassan himself doesn't say Tachanun at Shachri, but the shul does.
Oh, that's awkward.
Whoops.
Yes,
Right?
That's not what we do. Three girls from the Syria.
No, that's our the minhag of the show is
If anyone's
I don't know.
if anyone's not saying Tachanun, no one says Tachanun.
So we don't say that the chassan is like no the chassan has to say because it's word. No, the answer is the chassan himself doesn't say Tachanun.
No, so the
We don't say it's a problem.
the Chassan doesn't have to say therefore the tzibur.
So maybe it could be maybe loted go to do, according to the Mishnah Berurah statement, is when you do an active, not a passive. If you actively do something to demonstrate that you're not agreeing with what's going on, maybe that's the problem. But to passively maybe not say something,
But if you stand
maybe
up,
it's not a violation
But
of
if
the
you stand up
because
and
you're.
do the Asham Lipagadin, would that do the same? Would that fall under the same category?
You should do it. So when I go to like a nosach svar, like when I go
I'm saying-
boat show, the boat show,
No, I'm saying
when they
here.
daven mincha, they say you give me
If
them.
we're doing regular tap, if we're doing tap, I'm hearing some
Should they do it?
guy gets up.
I think you're supposed to say you're doing anything if they're saying it.
Yeah. Oh no, if they're saying it, you got to do it. Yeah. The boat show, when I daven mincha there, so I say you give me the. Okay, but that's different reasons. You give me the.
Right.
Man, that neck of it smells. So
Okay.
Okay.
How are people even noticing if you're not saying it? Like everyone's heads are down. And then they get up. How do they know that I just don't say it really?
So again, ask the same question. How do you know that I'm doing my right hand versus my left hand? Their heads are down. We see it as a for now. By the way,
That's different. That's not a logical thing, though, which you're supposed to do. But for me, in a different minion where they don't say it and I'm not saying it, for example, whatever, that's like a personal.
so look, this is a much broader topic of what's considered loted good to do, right? That's why this is a tangential point to the mission. Not that tangential, but it's but I think it requires a lot more analysis of what exactly is loted good to do, what's not good to do, what you can do. But I remember specifically, how many years ago was this? Oh my goodness! Wow, over 25 years ago, Rabbi David saying. 25 years ago, wow. Rabbi David saying that when it comes specifically to TACHAHANUN, whatever you do, doesn't matter. Whatever the tzibur is doing, that you should do. Because it's a public thing, I did not know it at the time, but it probably, because of this, Mishnah Berurah, I've thought to go to that. That's my assumption. Because it's such a public expression. Okay, let's continue reading 19. V'shat ha'omed miyamin ha'aron, tov sheyiter rosho ma'at klape aron. So look at our case. You'll notice, by the way, the minhag is that you put the Aron Kodesh. Let me reverse it. You put the Shlit Tzibur to the right of the Aron Kodesh. That's what we have here.
In front, like upstairs. It's in front.
So that means the sheet is on the left.
So,
that's because it's right.
No, you're right.
Only if you're facing it, it's on the right. If you're facing it, I don't know.
Or it's just Tachanun that it's there.
so
I don't know. I thought it was specifically for Tachanun, but it's specifically on the right side.
it's a good question, by the way. Because what's he saying? That if your Aron Kodesh is here, and now you're doing this, you turn your back, it's Aron Kodesh, which is not appropriate.
Depends which way you're like facing. Like,
No, that's right there, right there.
No, like in this
Seats
hall.
all over the place.
By the way, I'll tell you what, the Nafik Kamina would be in a show like this. If you're sitting right there in that chair, which you're basically by the
He
shots.
says it's the room. Maybe it's specifically
By
for
the
Tachanun,
shots?
and it's on your side.
So I sit right
side.
here. I sit
And
right here.
say
If I go
Tachanun.
left side,
Whatever that
I'm
is.
turning my back.
To the Aron Kodesh.
Good. Good. That's good.
But I thought it was just.
Only a mincha though.
I thought it was specifically for Tachanun, so it's like wherever I am in the room, to my
You-
right side. Not necessarily
No.
the right side of the room.
Wait, so if you're left,
Wait. What he's saying is you put it on your left side. But the Shlit Tzibur who davens to right of the Aron should, what's his language here? Yite ma'at rosho? Tov sheyite rosho ma'klape Aron.
That's not a shechina thing. That's just.
No, that's because of the Sefer Torah. That's the cover the Sefer Torah.
So in this room, it shouldn't be left or right. It should be like everyone's like turns their chair and look and like
towards there. Turns your chair this.
So
Face that way.
I guess
on
if
this
you
side.
it really only applies not to this, not here, because if you turn your back, you're not really. Because if you're sitting on your side,
This,
I'm right
from
here.
here on,
Everyone's
everyone's
right.
back is.
I'm like,
So don't tell me on this half of the right.
and if you're
If you're facing this way, you're fine.
and
If you're
right.
On the only little.
there.
To the side, right?
It's also for the other side of the room if you're facing.
But only that row. Once you're back there, it doesn't matter. Then you turn your back to the Shas. Turn your back to Shas, something is as important back there. Or the Rambam over there. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. Okay, let's go on. Umi Ba'arvit Hainu Mincha she'ein anu nagin l'nech tefillin. Rabbi, if minhag not to wear tefillin, although we know in the Gemara they wear tefillin right all day long. Umi she'nech tefillin gam sham. Let's say in our case it really only takes place on Tisha B'av. You don't say TACHAHANUN on Tisha B'av. Let's say you were right. You forgot in the morning. In Ones, Yipol Adimino. Then you should do it on your right side. And Dudchai Adam Shemitzed Da'azu Chol Dismacha Datagrav Lipol Al Smalo. Fine. So he says that at Mincha you could also do it on your other hand as well. All right, a couple of more halachos. We'll finish this off. So we see that the Arizal in 20, which is why even after we do Nifilat Apayim, we stay seated, right? Which our minhag is to say Shema Yisrael that time. You don't put it on your kaf, not on your. Don't do TACHAHANUN like this. You see some people do that, but it should be on the actual zroa, on your arm, your forearm. Ki gorem rachman sakana. I'm not quite sure why that is. Must be a Kabbalistic thing that if you do TACHAHANUN on your hand, that leads to sakana. I'm not quite sure why. Ki b'kaf yado shel adam kotvim avanotav. Oh, I see. That your sins are written on your hands, and therefore, since your sins are written on your hands, it's a Kabbalistic idea. You shouldn't do TACHAHANUN on your hand. We saw this last week already because of why we saw by Yeshua bin Nun. And therefore, we don't do Nifilat Apayim if there's no Sefer Torah. This already we discussed last week. It says the Rama, Yesh omrim de Nifilat Apayim el makom sheish aron v'Sefer Torah b'tocho, aval below zeh omrim techina below kisui panim. And that's the minhag, says the Rama. We mentioned already last week that those who argue with this minhag, that there are those people who do Nifilat Apayim even without a Sefer Torah. Mishabura v'tam hayesh omrim mishun matinu b'kra remez Nifilah hi l'fnei Aron Hashem. Okay, fine, we saw that already. Pesach Tshuva 23. We're just going to go down to Gimel. After the Ashkenaz she'omrim kapito v'rachum. Rachum v'chanun. Sorry. Yesh lahapir arkach v'lo lipog she'en sefer Torah. Ach lo yidalgu. Don't skip it. You can say it, of course, without Nifilas Apayim, and even says you can say it standing.
So you don't have to sit.
So you don't necessarily need to sit. However, up here the Rizal though, you should sit. Okay, fine. You don't skip TACHAHANUN without a Sefer Torah. Okay. 24. The Siddur of the Arizal, we'll end with this. In Pesach Tshuva, it's wrote down, V'yipol af al pi she'en Sefer Torah. Here's the Arizal. The Arizal said, al pi Kabbalah, you do Nefilas Apayim even without a Sefer Torah. Ach lo yasa zeh ela mishehu muchzak b'chasidus v'nagas Kabbalah. So a person who is muchzak in Chassidus and Kabbalah, the only person that should do that according to the Rizal. We know, I mentioned it before, in the Rav felt that you do TACHAHANUN if there's a room that has a sense of Kedusha to it. If you daven there or learn there, you could even do the Apayim there with, Chumashim and Siddurim. You don't dafka need a Sefer Torah. And we saw this, we mentioned this, I don't know if we saw this, but someone brought this up last week about Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim. Who was it last week? Was it David told that? Was it David maybe?
Maybe Shimi.
Maybe it was Shimi. I don't remember. Someone brought this up last week. Sefer Eretz Yisrael katav Yerushalayim noagin nefilat apayim gam babayit she'en sham Sefer Torah v'gam she'in makom kavul letfilah. So you're davening in your kitchen, right? You do it. Why? Because of the pasuk, and the kedusha of Yerushalayim is like klape Aron Hashem. Those who disagree, maybe it's referring to all of Yerushalayim, new city, old city, Yer Atika, maybe it's just the Yer Atika, not the Yer Chadasha. Okay, fine. And when it comes to bowing down on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, everyone agrees that Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, even if you're not in shul, you still go all the way down. Okay, fine.
Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur.
No, that you go all the way down, even if there's no Aron Kodesh.
What is it, TACHAHANUN?
No, Kriv Shechviyah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not TACHAHANUN.
Right, but it's still Shechviyah. You'd think that maybe that's also only Fnei Hashem. Right. Not sure. Okay, fine. Let's end there for today, and God willing, we will pick up Nisach Atfila And as I said, I think that's a joke last week. It's the longest section is the section of when we don't say Tachanun.
That's the one everyone's mostly.